East Turkistan demands Trump condemn China's Uyghur Genocide in upcoming Xi meeting. The East Turkistan Government in Exile, ETGE, calls on President Donald J. Trump to use his meeting with Xi Jinping on October 30, 2025, in South Korea to publicly condemn China's genocide of Uyghur, Kazakh, Kyrgyz, and other Turkic peoples in occupied East Turkestan and make clear that America will never compromise its values or interests with a genocidal communist regime. Under President Trump's leadership, the United States became the first nation to officially recognize China's crimes in East Turkestan as genocide and crimes against humanity. The first Trump administration led global condemnation at the United Nations and imposed sanctions on Chinese officials and entities, including the Xinjiang Production and Construction Corps, responsible for maintaining Beijing's occupation, colonization, and genocide in East Turkestan. The United States, under the first Trump administration, had the courage to call out China's crimes when others stayed silent, said Dr. Mamtaman Allah, president of the ETGE. We urge President Trump to show that same moral and strategic leadership by standing with the oppressed people of Chinese-occupied East Turkestan. China has never honored its commitments to the United States, including the trade deal signed under the first Trump administration. Beijing continues to cheat, steal, and lie, undermining America's economy and global security. China and its Communist Party remain the greatest threat to the United States and the free world. This month marks 76 years since China invaded East Turkestan on October 12, 1949, and 70 years since Beijing unilaterally designated it as the so-called Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. These anniversaries highlight decades of occupation, colonization, and systematic genocide. The ongoing genocide is rooted in China's illegal occupation. Since 1949, the Sino-East Turkestan conflict has persisted for over 7 decades, a struggle between colonial domination and a nation's fight to restore its freedom and independence. A just and lasting peace can only come from ending China's colonial rule and restoring East Turkestan's sovereignty. The root cause of the Uyghur genocide is China's occupation, said Salih Hudyar, Foreign Minister of the ETGE. President Trump must demand an end to China's genocide and colonial occupation, support the full restoration of East Turkestan's independence and liberty in accordance with America's commitments under the Captive Nations Law, and refrain from any deals, including trade agreements, that would undermine the freedom and security of East Turkestanis. President Trump has proven his ability to bring peace and stability, including his recent mediation of a peace deal between Cambodia and Thailand. The ETGE urges him to extend that vision to East Turkestan, ending the Sino-East Turkestan conflict and ensuring a just and lasting peace through freedom, decolonization, and restoration of sovereignty. The ETGE calls on President Trump to publicly condemn China's ongoing genocide in East Turkestan, condemn China's illegal colonial occupation, and formally recognize East Turkestan as an occupied nation. Support justice for victims of China's genocide and crimes against humanity through international mechanisms. Highlight tainted U.S. China trade, including goods made with Uyghur forced labor. Address China's transnational repression and espionage targeting East Turkestani/Uyghur Americans and U.S. institutions. Ensure U.S. foreign policy reflects American principles, including commitments to human rights, self-determination, and restoration of independence and liberty for captive nations. Refrain from any deals, including trade deals, that compromise East Turkestani's freedom, rights, or sovereignty. East Turkestan has vast critical mineral resources, which China steals to fuel its economy and military expansion, threatening U.S. national security and global stability. A restored, free, and independent East Turkestan could supply these minerals to the United States and allies at a steep discount, strengthening supply chains, boosting American industry, and undercutting Beijing's global dominance.